This video here, we're going to show you how to change the brake pads, specifically the brake pads, but also the rotor on any car that has an electrical emergency brake. And what is an electrical emergency brake? It is an emergency brake that applies without you having to push your foot on the pedal, or lift or pull up with your hand on the traditional emergency brakes. These are the newer cars where you just push down a button and then you hear the emergency brake engaging. To change these brakes, you need a computer, but we're going to show you how to do it manually without a computer. So the first thing you want to do is remove this nut right here. Remove this nut and then remove your plug, your electrical brake plug, electrical emergency brake plug. And then what we'll do, this specific video model, making car is a Mazda CX5, by the way. So what you want to do is lift that up, clear the brake pad, and slide that one out. You may have to take that bolt out on a different vehicle, but with the specific Mazda, you don't. And then we're going to release these two screws here, holding this electrical component together. Now, once we get this screw loose here, that electrical box will come off, and it will expose the manual screw that we will need to turn in order to get the piston to go back into the caliper. On the Mazda, it takes a 8mm socket, but on other vehicles, it takes this like 12-point star thing, and I'm going to show you the 12-point star thing also. And what you want to do is take your thing and you want to turn your ratchet and see which way. If you turn your ratchet, either loosening or tighten, either to the left or to the right, and you will see your piston. If your piston starts to move a little bit, like pushing itself out of the caliper, you want to go the opposite way, because you don't want to push the piston out of the caliper. And this is the 12-point screw that the other vehicles may use. This thing here. But with this vehicle, it takes an 8mm, and then what we're going to do is go the direction opposite of pushing the piston out, and we're just going to turn the ratchet that way. And then once it's always fully reversed, we're going to take our pliers, and we're just going to squeeze the piston back into the housing. And then we'll just, if that's all you're doing, you'll just replace the pads and put it back in the same way you took everything off and put it back. But we're doing the rotors here also. So those two screws back there, we're going to remove and then take the caliper off, the caliper bracket, and then we will remove the rotor like that. If your rotor is jammed on and you're changing them, don't be afraid to bang it with a hammer. Then you put your caliper bracket back, and then you slide your brake pad in there, like just as so. And then you do everything in reverse and just put everything back, and the job is done. It's not a hard job. It's that simple. Follow the directions that I showed you, and you would not have no problem on changing your brake pads on the car with an electrical emergency brake without using a scan tool to put the brakes in service mode. And then you just put all your pieces back, your electrical component back on, put the screws back in, tighten it up, put it back, and the job is done.